Hello, I am Mary, and this is the Venus Bibliotheca. I'm excited to do today's video because it is going to be my April TBR game video. April is also Magical Readathon as well, and I love Magical Readathon. It's one of my favorite readathons. I'm just going to play a reader's journey, and then after that, I'm going to hopefully fit all of the books that I choose for my game into the prompts for Magical Readathon. That is my plan. Hopefully it all works out. But first, we got to go over last month's picks, March. We got to go over March's picks from the game. The first prompt was Has a Map, and I chose Shadow and Bone. The second prompt was an ebook, and I chose Silver Under Nightfall. The third book prompt was Prologue, and I chose Siege and Storm. The fourth prompt was Purple Cover, and I chose Unhinged. The fifth prompt was Animal on the Cover, and I chose Ruin and Rising. And then the last space that gave me a book was a closed book space, which meant I had to spin a wheel for my book, and it landed on The Storm of Life. And out of all of these, I've read 0. I've not read a single one of them. I think I might finish Silver Under Nightfall before March ends, but I'm making no promises for that because I kind of ended up getting a reading slump in March and I haven't finished a single book yet this month. So we'll see if I end up finishing Silver Under Nightfall. I hope I do because at least I'll finish one book. We'll see. But as of right now, I haven't finished a single one of these books. So there's that. Now that I've shown you my shame of March, let's go to the first roll of April's TBR. Do roll 1. Of course, when I want big numbers, it gets a 1. We have a Hephaestus prompt. The prompt is Risk of an Unhaul, which is great when you haven't been reading that much. And of course, after a month of barely reading anything, the game isn't nice to me, giving me an easy prompt. I have to choose a book that's at a risk of an unhaul, and that's doubly hard because 1, I just did an unhaul, and 2, if it's at a risk of an unhaul, my drive to pick it up is very small. I did figure out a book, though, to fit this prompt, and that is The Wonderling by Mira Bertok. This was actually a gift to me from my brother, and I haven't read it. I know that it's a middle grade about these animal creatures in an orphanage-like thing, and I know there's pictures in it so there's illustrations and stuff inside. Other than that, I don't really know much about it, and as much as I really enjoy the cover, I think it's really pretty, I haven't picked it up, and my brother got it for me a few years ago, so I think I'm going to choose this for my first prompt. Now, let's go to the second roll. So, second roll. That's a better number than 1. 6. An open book space. For roll 2, I landed on an open book stack space, which means I can choose whatever physical book I want on my shelves. So I've chosen The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a pretty popular book. I haven't read it, obviously. It's on this for a reason. But it's also going to help me with one of my prompts in Magical Readathon. But we'll get to that after I'm done picking my books for my TBR game. Now let's go to the third roll. Go for roll 3. Please be a high number. Okay, a 9. That's good. A closed book space. And on the third roll, we landed on a closed book stack, which means I have no control about what is going to be picked for this one. I have to spin a spinner wheel that has all of my unread physical books on it, and then I have to read whatever it chooses for me. I think that it's updated. I tried to look at it just to make sure, and I think everything's on it. Hopefully, the spinner wheel video, there's a spinner wheel video up here for you to see. Hopefully it works out for that. Now let's spin the wheel. My Life with the Walter Boys. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that, but it is a book on my TBR that I should be reading. This is My Life with the Walter Boys by Ali Novak. I have already read this book, but that was while it was on Wattpad. This is a Wattpad story. And I guess I kind of bought it for the nostalgia, and then I was like, oh, I should reread it to see if I still like it and stuff, and then I haven't read it yet. And do you know that it got picked up and is a Netflix movie now? It's probably a good thing that the spinner wheel picked this, because I don't know if I would have prioritized it otherwise. Will I prioritize it even if it's on my TBR? That is the question. We'll find out next month's TBR when I tell you if I read it or not. If you don't know, this is about one girl. It's like one of those cliches where one girl ends up having to go to live in this house, and there happens to be like 12 boys. So antics arise from there. So we'll see how much I like it now versus when I was reading Wattpad when I was like 13. We'll see. Hopefully I still enjoy it, but you never know. Now let's go to roll 4. Let's roll for the 4th time. And we get a 4. Yay! The Dionysus prompt. Odd page number. For roll 4, we landed on the Dionysus space, and we got the prompt of an odd page number. And I've chosen Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sulin Tan because I have the ebook, and according to Amazon, the ebook page number is an odd number, so I'm keeping it. Now let's go to roll 5. High number, that's what I want. Guess that's better than 1. An Artemis prompt. Man, this game loves to give me Artemis prompts. Asexual rep. For roll 5, I landed on an Artemis space, and I got the prompt of asexual rep. And so I chose The Bruising of Kilwa by Nazim Jamnia. I really don't know much about it, except that it's fantasy and that the main character is aromantic asexual. And so I want to read it. Plus, it's a really short book. I didn't realize that until I was looking up some stuff about it. Apparently it's just a novella, so hopefully I can just read it quickly. Let's go to roll 6. Let's go for the 6th roll, and I really want a 12 because then I get to Mount Olympus. Okay, 6 I guess is good too. Or it's not good. Man. On roll 6, we landed on a closed book space again, so that means another spin the wheel. So I should have the wheel up here. If not, I'll put a screenshot. So let's spin the wheel now. So it landed on Jade Fire Gold, which is a book that I've been wanting to read. So for the 6th book on my TBR, it's going to be Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan. Hopefully I do end up reading this because I am excited about getting to this. I'm just also scared that it's going to let me down. Hopefully I enjoy it when I get to it. Now let's go to the 7th roll. Hopefully roll 7 gets me to Mount Olympus. Please and thank you. So when? Okay. Hermes prompt is a gifted book. For the 7th roll, I landed on a Hermes space and I got the prompt of a gifted book. So I have chosen Jade City by Fonda Lee. And yes, apparently I'm putting a bunch of really long books on my TBR. We'll see how that goes for me. But maybe since I didn't read barely anything in March, I will read a lot in April. That's what I'm hoping for. Then again, I'm never really good about reading from my TBR anyway, so we'll see what happens. Now let's go for roll 8. I think this is the most rolls I've ever had, so please get to Mount Olympus this time. Apparently every time I say that, it's just like, let's give me a 1. So, oh, a 6, yes. I have made it to Mount Olympus. Yes. So roll 8 finally got us to land down Mount Olympus, so that's great. And of course, the month right after, I have been in a kind of a reading slump. I have the largest TBR I've gotten so far. You know, that's how it goes. So let's go over the books that have been chosen for my TBR game. So these are the physical books, and then there's 2 ebooks. But first, the first space I landed on was a Hephaestus space, and I got the prompt Risk of an Unhaul. And so I chose The Wonderling by Mira Bertoff. And then the second space I landed on was an open book stack, which meant I could choose whatever physical book I wanted to. And so I chose The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And then I landed on a closed book stack, and I spin a spinner wheel, and it landed on My Life with the Walter Boys. And then after that, I landed on a Dionysus space, and the prompt I got was odd page number, so I chose Daughter of a Moon Goddess. And on the 5th roll, I landed on an Artemis space and got the prompt for Asexual Rep. And so I've chosen The Bruising of Kilwa by Nazim Jamnia. Then once again, I landed on a closed book space. So when I spun the spinner wheel, I landed on Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan for that book. And then for the last roll that gave me a book prompt, I landed on a Hermes space, and I got the prompt of a gifted book, and I chose Jade City by Fonda Lee. And that is my impressive stack for April. So now let's talk about the books that I'm using for my Magical Readathon career. I've chosen to do the Star Whisperer career again this year. Last year, I don't think I completed last year's. So like I got the first semester, but the second semester I didn't win. So I didn't get to a novice. So I didn't get it last year. So I'm going to try it again. There's 5 classes I have to take for Star Whisperer. The first one is Art of Illusion, which we are studying shadow play this semester, which means I have to read a book that has the word game or play in the title, which means I have chosen The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes to complete my Art of Illusion class. The second class that I have to take is Astronomy, and we're studying Constellation 3, which meant that I had to find a book recommendation based on my zodiac, and I'm a Pisces. And so I did a quick Google search for Pisces recommendations, and I found this website. I think it's everand.com if I remember correctly. If I screenshot it correctly, you should be seeing me finding the recommendation, and they recommended to read several books, but the one I'm using is Daughter of a Moon Goddess by Sue Lin Tan. So Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lin Tan is going to help me complete my astronomy class, which is great because it's talking about the moon, there's a night sky. It's really a perfect book for this class. I'm going to read that, hopefully. Fingers crossed. The third class that I have to take is Inscription, and it's a practical class where we are learning typography. Fun times. And for choosing this book, I had to write down 3 book titles on a piece of slips of paper and choose one of them. I already wrote down the titles on 3 slips of paper. I put in here Jade City, Jade Fire Gold, and then I also put in The Bruising of Kilwa. So hopefully it's nice to me. I mean, I wouldn't mind any of them, but if I'm focusing on my Magical Readathon prompts, then I'd rather the shorter of the 3 get picked, so then, you know. But then again, I'm supposed to read Jade City for a read-along that I'm trying to participate in, so we'll see. What is in the cards for us today? I have one. Let's see what I got. I got Jade Fire Gold, which I was saying that I was really wanting to read, so this will push me hopefully to actually get it done, because it's already been on a couple of TBRs. So Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan is going to help me pass my inscription class. And the 4th class I will be taking is Lore, but it got interrupted, so we need to reread The Legend of Dea. Can't remember for sure how it's pronounced, but it's this one. It's a legend that G from Book Roast, she created it for all the lore of Aurelium, so that's fun. I get to learn a little bit more about it, so I'm going to be reading this for my lore class to complete it. And then the 5th class I have to take is Synex and Divination. And if I ever say this wrong, don't come at me, but the thing that we're working on is Clairsentience 2, I guess, which means that I have to make a prediction bingo for one of my books that I'm reading. I haven't actually made a prediction bingo board for any of the books yet, but I think that I will probably use The Bruising of Kilwa, since I didn't pull it from the jar. I can use it here, and I'll make a prediction bingo. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do a vlog with me doing it, so we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. But when I make a prediction bingo board, it's probably going to be for The Bruising of Kilwa by Nazim Jamia. So those are the books that I'm going to do for Magical Readathon. I hope I'll be able to actually complete it this year so I can be a Star Whisperer novice. So that would be fun. I think I'm a novice in Masters of Elements. I'm not like completely particular on what I've done and haven't done, but I'm pretty certain I'm at least a novice in Master of Elements. So let's get a novice in Star Whisperer. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that you had fun in watching this video, and if you are also participating in the Magical Readathon, let me know what career you're choosing, because I just think that's interesting. I just really like how G puts this readathon together. It's just so fun, and I really like all the extra stuff she does for the readathon. It's just a fun time. But that is all I have for you this week. I hope to see you next week, but I make no promises. Bye. For roll 2, I landed on an open book stack space. Of course, the car would come while I'm talking for the 3rd time. Spin this. Hopefully it's up here for you to see. I knew that was coming.